Hey, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness, or Mikey's Madness, because we're not really covering video games today. Today we are covering Neca's 1/4 scale Batman Returns Catwoman figure, which 1/4, if you're not really good at math, that means that 4 of these figures stacked together would roughly be the size of Michelle Pfeiffer. But anyway, not a lot of people were covering these figures. Everybody was focused on the 1/4 scale NECA Ninja Turtles, which look awesome, by the way. I'm not a huge Turtles fan. I liked Turtles when they were popular. But yeah, Batman Returns whatever stuck with me. That's like my favorite Batman movie. I know a lot of you people like say, what? Because I know a lot of you like the Christopher Nolan Batman films. I like them too. They're really serious, and I kind of think that the first two Tim Burton movies were like perfect for me because they mixed the silliness of a comic book and then added some seriousness to it. It was like the perfect blend in my opinion, and then they got super campy with the other two movies. And Christopher Nolan's cool. They're more accurate to the comic books. This is like a manic Catwoman, but it was always my favorite design. I love how manic her outfit is. This particular figure is more battle damage, but anyway, I only found 2 reviews of this figure online. Like I said, most of the people that cover action figures have been covering those Ninja Turtles, which look just like the Jim Henson puppets, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I remember seeing the first one in the theater. I saw the second movie on DVD a few years back, and it wasn't as good, but I still remember the first one being good when I saw it around that time. Even when I was a kid, I thought the third movie was awful. But yeah, the first 2 Tim Burton Batman movies were my favorite. Batman Returns, I don't know whether it's because of the time I saw it, like around 92. It was, maybe I like it because of the memories that are associated with it, but I think I like Batman Returns a little bit more. That was one of my favorite times growing up or whatever. I remember we rented this movie. I remember the movie. It was called Curly Sue. Maybe you've seen it. I don't remember anything about the movie. I think it's just one of those movies where like the adults need to grow up and the kid says all these profound adult things. But I remember before the movie started, it had a preview of Batman Returns, which I had no idea. Batman, the 1989 version. I mean, for a kid, like 2 or 3 years is like an eternity. Like, I never thought that they were going to make a sequel, even though that's not really that long of a time. But when you're like 7 years old, like seeing this, I think I was 7 when I saw that particular preview. That sounds about right. 32 of this recording. Ugh. But anyway, I remember just that preview and then rewinding it, and my mom let me rewind it one time, but then she wanted to finally watch the movie. So when they were done watching the movie the next day, I would rewind it, play the trailer Batman Returns, rewind it, play the trailer Batman Returns. I didn't get to go to the cinema that much, so I had to wait till it came on video, which again, it was probably, I don't know, like a few months, but for a kid that was like an eternity. Heard how awesome it was. There's a lot of controversy when the movie came out because parents took their kids to go see the movie thinking it was like a kids movie, but there was a lot of violence and there were some pretty grim scenes in it. I mean, it's nothing too hardcore, but when they're making Happy Meal toys in the movie, you gotta wonder. So I'm super excited to share this Catwoman figure with you. The last Catwoman figure I had was around 92, maybe 93, because it actually came out at the end of the Batman Returns line. So I had like 15 Batmans and like no villains. I had a Joker from the 89 movie release, even though that was like a reused sculpt from like a cartoon or the comic book, because it looked nothing like Jack Nicholson. And ironically enough, they came out with a Penguin figure. That one was also from the same line, because that obviously didn't look like Danny DeVito. But the Catwoman sculpt actually was made after the movie. I don't know how you could fake it with all the stitches and stuff. It wouldn't look anything like the Catwoman from the show, because this was a unique interpretation of Catwoman. So for the longest time, I've been waiting for a decent Catwoman figure, and they have yet to deliver until now. Alright, so I guess we'll get on with showing you what this comes with. So you get an alternate sculpt head, which is nice. This is actually, I'm not used to this, so you'll have to forgive me. This is actually, it looks like it's a separate sculpt from the mask, which is cool. It's not like just painted on there. I'm trying to do this through the viewfinder, and I'm dyslexic. Not really the best combination. So yeah, so you get this alternate head, so you get a normal Catwoman. Although I will say it doesn't match her suit very well. That's all ripped up and stuff, which you'll see shortly, but it's nice. It definitely looks like Michelle Pfeiffer. Really awesome. So we got that. You get 2 alternate hands, nicely detailed. There was a speck of silver. I colored it in with a Sharpie. But yeah, you get these claws. They look super nice. I remember watching the movies, trying to figure out what the hell our claws were, and now I know because the detail's so awesome. So that's one hand, and it's attached by a little ball joint socket by the little hole there, you can tell. This is one of, I've only done like a handful of action figure reviews, so you'll have to forgive me. I think it'd be better at the terminology and stuff because I watched my fair share, and I don't have a lot. I have like 2 Hot Toys, 1 Sideshow. I got my fair share of Neca toys and then other brands. Well, this is her other hand. It's like a holding pointy hand or whatever. But yeah, we have this. We have the taser. I don't remember the taser having a smiley face, but every single release that I've seen of anything to do with Catwoman, this has a smiley face, so maybe I just didn't notice it in the movie. There was a switch there. I'm surprised Neca didn't add like some sort of indentation of like where it was made or whatever, because I do remember that. I don't know why I remember that detail in the movie, but I remember on the back right here there used to be like a little square area. Was it square? I don't know, but I remember like a lot of like lettering engraved. I wish they kind of emulated that. The whip, although I appreciate that it's bendy, which is really cool, I don't like the fabric that they use for it. I almost wish they sculpted like a rubber whip out of it. I mean, it'll probably last longer that it's a wire with fabric on it than like something that has rubber on it, because rubber tends to dry rot. Although, well, now the handle's made out of like a fairly hard plastic. But yeah, the whip's really the only thing that disappoints me, and at the end of it, if I can find it, it like ends. It doesn't look much like a whip. It looks more like a shoelace, if you ask me. But luckily it came with 5,000 wire ties, so I might try to rig something up that actually looks like the end of a bullwhip, like the little cracker part or whatever you call it. So now let's get on the figure. It has a lot of weight to it. It also comes with a stand. I don't know how well the stand's gonna work, because this reminds me of the stands that come with Diamond Select figures, which are complete shit, and I'm scared this might topple over. But that's the stand. That's her foot. So yeah, I'm hoping that'll work for now anyway, but I would probably definitely recommend getting a doll stand. To give you an idea how big this is, I'm trying to do this through the viewfinder, you'll have to forgive me. So this is a standard DVD case, so that'll give you an idea. So this is the figure. Her hair needs to be fixed up a little bit more. It definitely looks like she came out of a box. But overall, it doesn't look bad. It just needs to be spread out a little bit more. And then these little threads right here, they're on purpose. So please don't take them off unless you plan on poking them through the holes and gluing them again. I wouldn't even want to imagine what that entails. But this damn thing's so fucking big. In order for me to hold it, I only can show you a partial amount of the figure because this tripod's all spread out as it is. So for articulation, I'm only going to do one side. It's the same on both sides. So articulation, it's like a swivel joint, but then it's on like a hinge. So is it swivel? I don't want to move it too much because I want to pose it and that'll be it. So it's like a swivel, but then there's like a little ratchet here. Not too much movement. I don't want to force it. It's a double joint here on the arms, which is cool. So that means like she can get fairly close. Surprised there's not more articulation in the arms, but this is really not meant to be played for. You're going to want to pose it. Ball joint in the hands. There is some articulation in the chest. One thing about the chest, wish I could fix it a little bit. The corset stitching doesn't really match the middle part. That's not bad. There, you get a lot of detail on the back. You can see the little rivet holes. I don't know what you would call those. This is the same like metal things like you put your laces through in Chuck Taylors. That's the best thing I can compare it to. Double joint on the leg as well. The high heel. Let me look before I break it. It can move backwards and forwards, but I don't want to fuck around with that too much because of the stand. Yeah, so ratchet joint for sure. You heard that on the legs. So yeah. So this is the figure. You can look at her sideways like that. Since I'm not filming in portrait mode. But yeah, really nice looking figure. I highly recommend it. You can change the head, the hands, fairly easy. If you want to change the head, just pull it off like that. Came off super easy. And then you can put this one on. Harder to put on, I will say. I wouldn't make a habit out of it. And be careful with the threads again, because they'll come off probably fairly easy. And I would hate for you to have to put them on again. But yeah, now you have undamaged Catwoman, but the rest of the suit doesn't really match. Alright, so I finally put it on display. Probably should have displayed it at the bottom, but I don't know. The whip idea of putting something at the bottom, the zip tie things were too heavy. I'm wondering if I could maybe get something else that's a little bit stronger than the wire that's provided. So all in all, I'm really happy with this figure. I'm standing on a chair now. But it looks awesome with the rest of my collection on my little mini museum got going on around here. But anyway, yeah, I think this is a fantastic figure. If I would change anything, I'd maybe add like some sort of clear gloss across the eyes. I think the figure's pretty much perfect. Definitely needs a doll stand. She's slightly leaning against the wall. She fell down one time. Luckily nothing scuffed, so do not rely on this stand whatever you do. It's not worth it. Make sure you're careful with the threads, but yeah, the only thing I would improve was maybe the whip. Obviously get a stand, and the eyes are really a minor thing. I just pointed out everything's so fantastic on this, and for the price you're getting like a Hot Toys quality product almost. If you ask me, the only difference is Hot Toys uses actual fabric and stuff. I don't know how they would pull that off with this though. So this is NECA's finest work I've seen. The only thing I've seen close in the quality in person, I've not seen the 1989 Michael Keaton thing. That does look pretty cool, I won't lie. But I have seen the Alien Queen in the box, and that looked amazing. And this is NECA as well. This is only like a regular, this would be considered in the 6-inch line because the human figures are 6-inch, but that's fantastic as well. NECA just does some really good stuff, but unfortunately, when you're buying NECA products in the wild, it's like you get what you find. You know, if you want a specific item, you usually have to look for it online, but I definitely recommend going to your mom and pop shop and try to see if they have this. If you're a fan of Batman Returns, I don't know why you don't already own this. I might be in the minority. I've actually gotten in some geeky arguments of why I like it. I know it's far from the cat burglar thief character like the Catwoman on the Arkham games, is way closer to the comic book or the animated series, but I just like this manic version of Catwoman. Catwoman also was like my first childhood celebrity crush. I wasn't quite at puberty age, but I knew there was something special about Catwoman. But anyway, but that's not why I have it. I think it's just a cool figure, and it's a perfect item for one of my favorite movies. I know, crazy, right? Batman Returns, and then '89 Batman being some of my favorite movies. And I do have the other ones. Unfortunately, I need to upgrade to Blu-ray, but there you go. And there's the animated series. I need to get season 4. There's more elsewhere. But yeah, fantastic. Definitely recommend it. There's Harley Quinn. I don't know if I did a video of this. I think I did. If I didn't, the Play Arts Kai Harley Quinn's pretty sweet. Definitely like the stuff that DC's licensing out, as long as Mattel's not making it. So yeah, so definitely get a stand, and maybe think about being creative and doing something with this whip, because the wire in this whip is not strong enough to support itself. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps with your decision of making a purchase. There's not a lot of videos covering this. I think everybody's orgasming over those 1/4 scale Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I can see why these products are not the most popular, because they're super big. But if you have the room, I mean, by all means. They might later on release a 6-inch. They've done that with some of the other 1/4 scale figures, but you know, you might not want to gamble, because some of them have not gotten a 6-inch release, but some have. And I don't know how they would pull off the hair and some of the finer details of this figure. So I think if they came out with a 6-inch figure, some of the details would be gimped. But yeah, absolutely love this. Don't regret it one bit. Excellent quality. I feel like I'm as excited as I would if I would have bought a Hot Toys figure.